Thank you everyone for coming here. I need that. Thank you everyone for coming here today to our demo day. Before starting, let's get to know each other. Who here, for whom is it the first time at Code Chrysalis? Please raise your hands. Wow. Wow, awesome. Who here found out about us from Meetup? Okay. Wow, that's cool. Who's a developer? Nice, nice. And who is a hiring manager or recruiter? That's nice. All of these guys. Awesome. All right, so before we jump into it, I'm just going to briefly say a couple things. We're at Code Chrysalis. We've been at it for a little more than a year now, and this wouldn't have been possible without the help of some of our biggest partners. So I want to say a thank you to our partners, especially Pivotal and RGA. They've been doing workshops with our students on product development, and that's really awesome. I want to give a shout out to Rakuten Rapid API. We've actually had a collaboration project with them, this cohort, which you're actually going to see. A shout out to GitHub for sponsoring our events. A shout out to Blink Workspace for hosting our meetup. Shout out to Hito Media for providing the park space, which is what the space is called here, is the park. And shout out to Wall and Case for their great support. And of course, all the people who make this happen. A big shout out and thank you to Kani and Yan, the founders of Code Chrysalis. Without you, this literally wouldn't exist. Also, a big shout out to Dylan and Krista, who can't be here currently. They are the instructors for our course. I just realized I haven't introduced myself. I'm sorry. By the way, my name is Felix. I'm the lead instructor at Code Chrysalis. More shout-outs. Mary for doing awesome job at marketing. Melanie and Heather for running the English program. Our two current interns, Noah and Mohif, who you've probably met when coming in. A special shout out to Bo and Alex. They're actually former students, but they're they're teaching the Foundations course, which prepares people for the immersive. Which, by the way, is actually happening right now at Blink. One more thing that I want to mention is, one thing that you will hear throughout today, repeating pattern, is that many of the apps that you will see have been built in a very short amount of time and under high pressure. But I just wanted to say that it's important to note, we're not a school that gets you to build apps in X days using Y and Z technology. Our focus is on creating actual strong software engineers that can build apps from scratch and build autonomy in the process. You will see apps that use a lot of technologies that we don't teach, they taught themselves. We teach how to learn. And of course, how to be a leader in the workplace. So if you're interested, after this, please stick around, talk to staff, talk to the students, of course. And yeah, because needless to say, most of our students are looking to get hired. So without any further ado, I want to give it up to our Master of Ceremonies for today, Kimiko. Big applause.
So much for coming today. We're really excited to show you guys what we've built in the last 12 weeks. This has been a very challenging course for everyone. It's been long nights and weekends, but we made it. And we've been really excited for this day to come. So I'm really excited to show you guys what we have. I would like to start off with introducing the 5th cohort. If you guys could come up. I would like to start introducing you guys to the best team ever. Alright, so I would like to start with Michael.
Cool. Thank you, Kimiko. Hi, I'm Michael, originally from Germany. I have spent the last 4 years in the startup industry, working in San Francisco for 2 years, then moved to Berlin to start my own company. I was for 2 years, I was in the esports industry. I was the only founder, hired a team of 4 engineers. I was the only non-engineer there, so the business background. We built a mobile app, we launched a mobile app, ended up selling my shares to my investors, a long story, ask me about it. I then packed my bags to move here to Tokyo, to join Code Chrysalis to become an engineer, because I want to be in the first row of building good software, and I think I learned the skills the last 3 months to make that happen. I have an interest in decentralized apps. It's a project I'm going to talk to you about later, and also mobile app development, and we did something in React Native that we are also going to show you later. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Yoshi. I'm local, and I'm software engineer in Code Chrysalis. And actually, I'm also a private pilot for glider. So in my free time, I might be flying on somewhere on the Japan. And also, I have experience to work as a web developer in Japanese IT company. Back then, I used PHP, but I'm not so enjoying to use React. And so, actually I had a lot of applications with using React in Code Chrysalis. And one of the most favorite applications we made is, is Markdown text editor with Electron React. And it is a cross-platform. We can use web and desktop as well. And also, mobile application, we will show you later. I'm so enjoying. I'm so get excited to see you guys. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hiro. I'm originally from Osaka. I'm a software engineer based in Tokyo. I had worked as a project manager for Japanese system integrator for over 10 years. And most of my background is enterprise IT infrastructure solution. Most of them is Microsoft Azure or something like that. And in recent couple of years, I had worked as a product manager to develop new cloud-based service for the same company. Through that experience, I'm feeling like I want to build an application on my own. So that I decided to change career to from project manager to software engineer. I'm interested in the route navigation system, and actually I had a tech talk about the pathfinding algorithm. I'm also interested in the enterprise blockchain service. So that if somebody interested in that kind of technology, come to talk to me later. I'm very excited. Thanks for coming our demo day.
Hi guys, I'm Tsubasa. I have a background in developer relations and business analysis, but I really wanted to get super deep into software development, and that's why I'm here. It's like my other passion, long distance trail running. It's a brutal endurance sport, but once you reach the goal, it's this really amazing sense of fulfillment, and it's also extra strong when you do it for a cause that you believe in. I've given a talk about distributed apps. I built a distributed app using IPFS. I'm also doing a disaster response app with my team here. And I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Hi everyone, I'm Dustin. I'm a software engineer from California.
I grew up all my life playing video games. I really love video games. So that actually led me to go to school to get a degree in computer science. And that in turn led me back to video games. So I actually worked in the video game industry for a couple years. And then I decided I wanted to learn a little bit more about web development and just develop myself a lot more. So I came here to Tokyo to Code Chrysalis to learn web development, but I ended up learning a lot more. I've created web apps like I intended, but I also ended up making some mobile apps and a lot of other things I'm really happy to show you guys today. So thank you for coming, and I really hope you guys enjoy all this stuff we worked on.
Hi everyone, my name is Noor. I am from Syria. I used to be a lawyer, now I am a software engineer in Tokyo. I like iOS development using React Native. I created an app called Pomodoro Timer, which helps with time management and increasing personal productivity. Yeah, and also now I'm working with my team on an app called Habit. You'll see it on the demo later on. I also recently I did a tech talk about Git and GitHub. I like video games and I like indie music, indie rock. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming.
And back to me. Hi, I'm Kimiko. I was born in Japan, but I grew up in the United States for 20 years. And I was actually an English teacher for 7 years in Osaka before I moved to Tokyo about a year ago. And I joined a 3-person startup company. I was doing business development, a little programming, but I wanted to get deeper into technology side, so I joined Code Chrysalis. And we have been building a lot of full stack applications. One of the projects that I built, I really hate bugs. So I built an app called Mosquito Activities. It shows mosquito activities around Tokyo area on a Google map. I'm a mother of 2 cats, and I love eating a lot of fried chicken, and I like to sing rap music, especially T.I. Thanks. So now I would like to introduce you guys to 2 of our individual projects that we built. The first one is going to be introduced by Tsubasa. We had about 3 days to work on this project. We built this on week 6, and yeah, we worked very, very hard on this. Tsubasa here is actually a runner. He runs all the time. I remember seeing him drenched in rain one day to school, and turns out that he was running from home to here, from Ikebukuro. Yeah, and right now I think he actually cycles to school from Ikebukuro. Is that right? Yes. Yes. Yeah. He also is a big eater. He brings 2 bento boxes every day. And I remember one day I couldn't finish my minestrone, and he was gentleman enough to finish my minestrone after his 2 bento boxes.
It was delicious, by the way.
Thank you. All right. Well, looks like he's ready. So let's give it up for Tsubasa.
Okay, can everybody hear me up in the back as well? Okay, great. Okay, hi guys, so I'm Tsubasa, and today I'd like to tell you about my 3-day solo project I did using D3JS. But to set the context, who here knows Winamp? Can I get a hand? Okay, good, this seems to be my kind of crowd. So for those who don't know, Winamp was this really cool music playing app in Windows. It had a lot of cool features, but the one that I really enjoyed was that it had like 200 trippy visualizations. It was great. Like, so you like play music, and then you have like these visualizations that would move with the music. And what I do with my friends is we like play the same music at the same time in multiple computers with like different visualizations. Then we'll be like, whoa, this is so cool. Have like a ad hoc party experience. The sad thing is, Winamp hasn't been developed on for like the past 4 years. And essentially, I've been looking for a replacement. And I just went ahead and made my own. So today, I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, Rowan. So let me tell you about like the angle that I'm coming from here. So this is a by bros, for bros app, and I mean that in the most inclusive way possible, actually. By bros, I mean like I want everybody who enjoys music to use this app, and I want to address them in a familial manner. I feel like people who enjoy music is like family to me. So yeah, and I don't welcome that toxic masculinity, but all bros are bros. I also want to augment the musical experience, right? That's the point of the visualization. So I want it to be trippy. I actually have additional ambitious, objectives with this. So for the time being, I want it to be exclusively front-end only, so I can integrate other features. Okay, without further ado, let me show you Broman. Here we are. Okay, so here is the main visualization screen. You can select the file here. Let me see. Where should I go with today? Oh, wait. Okay, I'll go with this one. Okay, so what you can see here on the right is called a frequency graph. You just have like the lower pitch noises, sounds on the bottom and the higher pitch sounds on the top. Well, what you can see on the left is called a spectrogram. So what it's doing is it's taking this frequency graph and it's mapping it out over time, like this. I personally find this a pretty cool visualization because you can actually see like the measures in the songs. And also you can see all the build-up, and you can also see like, sometimes there's some vocals being inserted. You can clearly see the notes that's being played. Okay, let me go back and explain the tech behind this. So first and foremost, I use D3JS to do the frequency visualization on the right. I use Chroma.js so that I can customize the color scale that I could use in the visualization. I use the rainbow color. I used Webpack so I can write the latest and greatest JavaScript while being able to transpile that and run it on practically any modern browser. But surprisingly, most of the code I wrote was actually in HTML5. HTML5 has all of these really sophisticated tools like audio context, which enables you to take any audio file and then break that down into a data stream that provides you a stream of all those frequencies, so that you can actually visualize it, which I did with SVG. So I used vector art to show that dynamic visualization graph on the right, and I used Canvas so I could draw it out over time on the spectrogram. Okay, let me tell you about the problems I had while building this. Which means essentially I'm going to talk about D3JS. So D3JS is like a very vast library. There's so many things you can do with it. And it's a huge library in the sense that, this is the primary documentation you're going to be looking at. But it's 1,300 lines and it's 132 kilobytes. It's just text and it's this large. So you get easily lost. So what you have to do is find somebody else who's done something similar to get started in D3JS. We call that grokking. And so you have to find the right code base who does something similar. And this, again, is a very long searching process. Okay, let me tell you what my ambitions are for this particular app. First off, I want to make it distributed. There's this protocol called IPFS, which is a peer-to-peer distributed protocol. What you can do is you have these front-end clients, and then they can talk directly to other front-ends without a server. I want to do this so that I can stream music simultaneously among multiple clients. I've actually already done a talk about this in Big Miniconf, which was last month. It was a 45-minute talk, and so essentially I won't be talking over the technical details here, but I'll show you a link later. And of course, there's not enough trippy visualizations. When AMP had 200, I have 199 more to go at least. Yeah. So if you guys are interested, the BroAmp repo is there, and also my tech talk that I've done is over on the Reddit. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, Tsubasa. All right, next we have Michael coming up. He actually did a tech talk on this topic that he's going to talk about, 45-minute tech talk. This is actually a condensed version of that 45-minute tech talk. Michael here is a very good designer. He has designed a lot of cute, cool UI, and looks like he's ready. So let's give it up for Michael.
Thank you, Kimiko. I don't need to make. Cool. I'm going to talk about the project called Hack Butterfly that I've done. As Kimiko said, it was a 45-minute talk, so this is a condensed version. I will not go too deep into blockchain and all sorts of terminologies. There will be an extensive README that I prepared for everyone if you're interested. There's like a tutorial on what was used and how to use it, and also a link to the video. Yeah, so what I want to build is a decentralized coding school registry. And yeah, think about the following problem. So let's just say Code Chrysalis is the best coding school that you could go to in the world, and is of the standard of Stanford, right? So you want to be there, and everyone who graduates is really, really good. So that scenario, let's say you interview someone who went to Code Chrysalis or claims that he went to Code Chrysalis, but something seems a little fishy of that person, and you need to do a background check. So how do you do that? You maybe call up the school, maybe you know some friends who went there, and that process could take hours, if not even days, and then even you can't be really sure that someone might just lie to you, and then you don't really know 100% if this person actually went there. That is a transparency problem that I try to solve using the Ethereum blockchain. Reason for that is basically the idea that you have a decentralized registry of all the information versus a decentralized one. So in the normal centralized world that most people are familiar with, is that you have all the data sitting on a single server, and you have all the users here that basically get data from that server. On the decentralized world, however, you have a bunch of it's called nodes in a network, and they all hold a copy of that data. And the interesting thing here is that that data is immutable, which means if there's something new, like added to the state, there will be a new block added to the state. So in terms of trust and transparency, that's something that I wanted to make use of. All right, let's talk about the actual product. So the product that I came up with, I call Hack Butterfly, which is a coding school that is online with a decentralized registry and how to sign up. So let's say our student, in order to enroll into the program, sends Ether, which is the currency of the Ethereum blockchain, to a smart contract. And a smart contract is basically a bunch of functions that can write from or read to the blockchain. And let's say you send an Ether here, and then you are signed up, which means your name is on the blockchain, and also status of enrolled. And at the same time, the school itself is the owner of that smart contract, which means the school deployed that smart contract onto the blockchain, and has some special rights. So the school can then change someone from enrolled into graduated if this person fulfilled all the criteria. The cool thing here is, however, let's go back to the example when I want to background check someone. All I need to do is really do one function call to that smart contract to get the latest data that is always up to date of all the students and all the alumni, which can't be faked. So this is one of the ideas to solve that transparency problem. Let's actually show you a demo of this. This is my web app. So here you can basically sign up. I'm going to zoom this in a little. And this is my current address, this is my current balance. This is on a test network, so don't worry, it's not real money. And here are a bunch of students that I already put in, so students and alumni. Let's just go ahead and sign someone up. So my brother's here in the audience, so I'm just going to get my brother in here. Marcus Arnold. Let's say he's 30. You're welcome. Okay, so let's get access. So this is something called MetaMask, where I can confirm the transaction. So I'm going to confirm this now, and I can check now the status of this up here. So this has been submitted. This is something called Etherscan, where you can basically see all the transactions that are going through the Ethereum blockchain. And while this is loading, I'm not going to wait on this. I'm going to talk about the tech stack, what I did here. So usually people are used to, for the backend, just use a normal database. For us, we use the Ethereum blockchain to basically store the data. I use smart contracts that are written in Solidity, which is the language of the Ethereum blockchain, also built by the Ethereum guys, which enables me to actually write data and read data from the blockchain. And to connect the smart contract with my front end that was written in Vue.js, which is a front-end JavaScript framework, I use something called Web3, it's this guy here, which is basically an Ethereum API also built by the guys at Ethereum. And this allows me to plug this in and actually communicate with my smart contract. All right, let's go back here. This is now confirmed, so all good. This is not refreshed yet, so this Marcus should come up here now. So let's refresh this. And while this is loading, you can see that reading from the blockchain is actually really slow. And there he is. So Marcus is now official student of Hack Butterfly. Congratulations.
Nice.
All right, if you want to dive deeper and want to know more about this, this is the README I mentioned. There's a link to the slides of the 45-minute presentation, a link to the presentation itself, and a bunch of stuff on how to set up MetaMask, how to get test money, and all that stuff. That's a QR code that leads you to my repository. And with that, thank you very much.
If you guys are interested in learning more about us, there's a link here, codechrysalis.io/CC5. You can access this link, and it will have our information as well as the LinkedIn information and GitHub. So yeah, please go check it out. All right, next project, I would like to introduce you to our team projects. This was a collaboration with Rakuten Rapid API. Rakuten Rapid API is a marketplace for a lot of APIs all in one place, and they asked us to test out their service because it's pretty new and give them feedback. So what we did was we used their service. We had to build an application in 3 days, and we actually went to their office and presented our demo to their senior staff. Okay, so this is Team Space Explorer. So we would like to start with a demo.
Hi guys, we are Team Space Explorer. We develop full stack simple page single page web application in 3-day sprint. So that was actually started week 7 Tuesday, and after then we demonstrate to Rakuten Rapid API team at Rakuten headquarters on Friday morning. So that's very tough schedule, but it was very exciting experience for us. So first of all, we had quick research on the Rakuten Rapid API marketplace. Because there are so many APIs, so that we take time to individually quick research, and we found the interesting API, and we set the theme to space. And after that, we had Inception. In Inception, we talk about who is the user, how a person looks like, and what is the problem. And we discussed a lot of things using sticky notes, whiteboard, something like that. And we discuss until we all get a clear image for the user. Next, here is our persona. Actually, that's a summer project, so that he is a 10-year-old kid. He loves space. And he has a cool parents, and maybe he lives in a major city, and he's bored, then he's on summer vacation. And this is our user story. As a space kid, I want to see activities in the browser so that I can learn more about the universe. That's great. Here's our scenario. So let's say I'm 10 years old kid. So I'm bored. I'm summer vacation. Hey dad, do you have something interesting? So that shows me some cool website. That is our product. So the family talk about family takes time to talk about many space things, and maybe the family next weekend go to a planetarium or something. So that's very cool. And this is our way of very beginning our website. Next, Kiniko will demonstrate our product.
Okay, thank you. So this is our application. On the right side, you will see a map of Japan with current satellites orbiting the Earth. So it actually detects the geolocation of your current place. So if you're in Japan, you'll see the map of Japan. If you're in Seattle, you'll see a map of Seattle with the satellites orbiting the Earth around Seattle. And on the left side is where you can see all the space information. If you see the satellite right here. Okay, so this is the satellite information. If you click on one of the satellites, you can actually get the name of the satellite. So we have clicked on this guy right here. And then if you click on that link there.
Could you not use the controller? It's actually.
Oh, sorry.
Second mouse, actually.
Yeah, so if you click on that link, you can actually jump to Google, and then it will Google search that satellite name. And then if it's available, you can see it in Google search, and then you can get more details. Sometimes it's classified, so you will not see any information. It really depends on the satellite that you click on. The next one is the sun information. You can get the sunrise and sunset information of the sun for that day. There's a moon information. Age is basically how many days it's been since the new moon. And illumination, right now it's 95%, so that means that 95% of the moon is lit tonight. And stage, so there are several stages of the moon, and right now it is at waning gibbous. All right, so that is the overview of our application, and now Tsuyoshi is going to give you the technical breakdown of this app.
So basically, it is a single-page web application. So front end is very important. So we decided to use Vue and Vuex for front-end stuffs. And to visualize map on the application, we are using Google Map API. And as you can see, it is a collaboration of Rakuten Rapid API. So on their API market, we use 3 API, NASA API, Moon API, and Sunrise Sunset API to get data relating to the information. And we realized that it is a bit hard to use NASA API because it is made for rocket scientists. Like the JSON data returned from NASA is very messy. Just getting a satellite information is a bit, annoying to get, like 5 or 6 messy data. So we decided not to use that, but instead we're using N2YO API to get satellite information. And for styling, we are using Beautify. It is a library, framework to add a style sheet for Vue application. And lessons we learned in this application. It is a very short span project, so we need to develop very efficiently. So we take that strategy, iteration. We first research on Google Map Rakuten Rapid API. What kind of API we can use there, and test it. If it works correctly, and implement it. Okay, but sometimes some of the APIs on Rakuten Rapid API doesn't work as we expected. So again, we research, iterating. Those lessons we learned the most, and also modesty. as I said, there are some limitations of API calls. Like NASA API gives us 50 API calls in a day, so we have to, not to use that API call like greedily. That is what we learned. And from here, Tsubasa is taking over. Is going to talk about potential improvements.
So we made this app mostly as an exploration into how many APIs we can get into this app. But we have something pretty cool here. So I thought it'd be great if we could list up a couple of additional ideas to make this even cooler for kids. So first off, I realized that we have actually a pretty lax API call limit for N2IO. So we could call actually quite a couple of times per minute the satellite geolocation. Using that, we can identify the vector of each satellite, which is predictable. And then you could animate all of the satellites on the map as you're looking at it, which would be really cool. I would trip out for sure if I was in a spacesuit. Also, we could display more satellite information. So for example, if we had made a second API call to N2IO, we'd be able to get additional information about each satellite. It might be a linear or a weather satellite or an intelligence satellite. We could even go so far as to link it up with a Wikipedia search. If you search, select a satellite, it might say, oh, this is an information gathering satellite of Japan, which is this intelligence satellite that's over North Korea. I don't know what kind of child we're raising anymore, but I would find this personally really cool. Also, scale is a problem. Essentially, we have all the API calls are being made from the front end. With something like the NASA Photo of the Day API that Tsuyoshi just mentioned, what we should do instead is actually make a batch call from the back end to the API and then cache the image or other deliverable from the API and then serve that to the front end. If we don't have this implemented, then we'll only be able to serve 50 users a day, which is obviously not an app. Yeah, so thank you guys. If you guys have any questions about how to use Rakuten Rapid API, or just best practices about how to consume an API in general, then please come talk to us. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay, next project I would like to introduce you guys to is Ohio Daily. So this is also another collaboration with Rakuten Rapid API, and we have Michael, Dustin, and Noor. It was kind of funny when we were assigned this team. It was divided into Japanese team versus non-Japanese people. So even though our names were Team Space Explorer and Team Ohio Daily, I would be like Team Japanese people. And we would get together and name that. That was kind of funny. All right. So a little fun fact about these guys that's setting up the stage here. Dustin here is a hardcore gamer. And on Friday nights, we would get together and play video games, and he would provide us all the games and the consoles. I will tell you more about that, but now they're ready, so let's give it up for Ohio Daily.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming, and like Kimiko said, we're Ohio Daily. It's made up of Noor, Michael, and myself. First we want to go over a little bit of how we got this idea to make this. Like Kimiko said earlier, we were approached by Rakuten Rapid API Marketplace to do a collaboration with them to test out their new marketplace. And me, Noor, and Michael, we wanted to do something that we could use every day. And one of the things, so we got to thinking, like, what do we do every day at Code Chrysalis? And a couple of things we do every morning. We start off with Radio Taiso, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's morning exercise. We do it for a couple of minutes, and it's a way to get our bodies ready for the day. It's a lot of fun. Another thing we do is code coffees,
which is just algorithmic programming in like a short, with a time limit. And this is kind of to give our brains a jump start to get ready to just code all day, essentially. And the last one is we bring interesting things to kind of inspire us. It's just something from either tech or any industry to something that piques our interest that the rest of us might be interested in as well. So we started combing the Rakuten marketplace to try and find some APIs that might give us interestings, because interestings are the things we struggle most with to bring every day. Just because we're so busy coding after school, like all the time, just trying to get our projects done before the deadlines. So in our search for interestings, we also found a lot of other APIs which we thought could really just jumpstart our day in general. And that's how we got to Ohio Daily. It's fresh content every day, just to jumpstart your day. And it gives you daily news and inspiration. It changes every day. It's modular and customizable by developers. It's very easy to insert and remove modules that you or your customers may want. And we'll be showing you a demo for it right now. So this is a preview, but this is a working version that we have uploaded to Heroku. So you can see that we have a weather app here, which has been raining for most of the day. You can see that there. We have the latest hacker news here for some interestings. A quote from Mr. George Washington Carver, something to inspire you maybe. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see the TED Talks, always good to watch. We have a new word definition every day, which is great, just help you out. And we have the love calculator for a little bit of fun. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's go ahead and put my name in there. And let's do my brother's name, Dylan. Let's see how this goes. Oh. That's kind of expected. Yeah, so this is our entire app. It's really easy to add more or less modules. And it's a lot of fun to just go through this every day. Cool. And I'm going to pass it over to Michael. He's going to dive a little deeper on the tech side of it.
Cool. Thank you, Dustin. I'm going to talk a little bit about how this thing looks under the hood. So we used a bunch of APIs from the Rakuten Rapid API marketplace. So we shopped 4 APIs there. And some other APIs that were not on the marketplace. And we're going to go through the modules now step by step, kind of like what the challenges are or the interestings. To start with, the first one was to just get the weather in there. Very straightforward. We used the Yahoo Weather API to get the temperature highs and lows and sky forecast for today. Yeah, it was very convenient that we also got the date, so we displayed that as well. And I think the interesting stuff here was to render this little icon here, like this guy, conditionally based on what the weather is. Yeah, but also not rocket science. For the next one, I think it was a little more interesting. So most interesting actually came from Hacker News, and like actually the top 10 of Hacker News. So we displayed the top 10 of Hacker News based on user upvotes. And to do this, we actually had to do like 2 API calls. The first one was to get top stories, which returns an array of story IDs. And then with each of this ID, we had to do another call called getItem, and then it returns the headline, the link, the domain, and all that information that we need. So yeah, we had a nested API call in here. I think that was the most interesting one here. And then a little bit of regex for like shortening those URLs to just the pure domain. Yeah, so for the next one, we really wanted to have one fresh new TED Talk every single morning to watch over breakfast. And we used an unofficial API from TED, which didn't end up working. So we thought, okay, what's another option that how to get this? And we figured, and we saw that on TED's YouTube channel actually, they upload a new video every 12 hours. So if you just get the latest video every single morning, then you have a new video every single morning, right? So we used the YouTube data API to just grab the latest video and display it. And yeah, so now I'm going to pass it over to Noor.
Thank you, Michael. So next I'm going to talk about the code of the day. So here we were looking for something that gives like an API gives something interesting every day. So we found that code of the day served this purpose. So it's basically just gives you a code with the name of the author. we used random famous code API from Rakuten Rabbit API store. Yeah, okay, so next word of the day, actually this one, because I am not an English native speaker, so I thought of something that like improve my English skills and also like to increase my vocabularies. So here I thought of word of the day. It gives you a word with its definition every day. Yeah, I used WordNet API for this one. Okay, and to add some fun to our dashboard, we added this love calculator. You saw it in the demo. So you just give, you enter two names and it will give you the love percentage of these two names. We used love calculator API from Rakuten Rabbit API store. Yeah, okay, next I'm going to tell you what we learned from this project. Yeah, so first we improved our skills in Vue. We used Vue a lot on this project. Also, we used Beautify. We learned how to use it, which is like responsible for styling, and also works great with Vue. And also, we learned how to deal with the environment variables and .env files. And we had practical understanding of the 12-factor app when we deployed on Heroku. And also, we had deep understanding of dealing with the APIs. Yeah, so that was our project. Thank you for coming. This is our website, and this is the repo to our project. And also, these are the contact information for us if you want to contact us. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, Ohio Daily. Okay, next we have a senior project coming up. We had 3 weeks to work on this. Even though it seemed longer than the other projects that we had, it was still a very tough schedule to meet because we had strict deadlines, and then we also had weekly stakeholder meetings, and they kept adding more requirements. So that was tough to keep up, but we're really proud of what we have built. This was the thing that we've been looking for, and we're really excited to just show you what we have. So this team is composed of myself, Dustin, and Tsubasa. We worked on this nights and weekends, and I think what we have here is really good. Definitely feel like we will be able to use this, in real life. So I know that I said that we get together on Fridays and play video games. Sometimes when you get into playing video games, you kind of forget to behave, and you slip out a few bad words, right? Even though you're not supposed to. Well, at Code Chrysalis, there's this bank that you have to donate 100 yen every time you say something bad. So we donated a good amount, right? Yeah, and there's also another rule. You cannot speak Japanese during this course. So if you speak a Japanese or word or any other foreign language, then you also have to donate 100 yen. It's just a good practice, right? Because English is the main word and the universal word. Okay, so it looks like we are ready. So we would like to begin. Team Zenny. Okay, so I would like to introduce you to our app, Zenny. Zenny, we got this name from a Japanese word, zennin, which means a good person. This app is for disaster relief. We built this app for people who want to help people in disaster situation and those who need help. So I was actually in a disaster situation back in 1992 in Miami, Florida, called Hurricane Andrew. My mom is here, and we went through this together. we lost power, water for weeks, and we had no water, no food, and we had no way of getting those supplies because we had no information where we can get them. And even when we were driving around finding places that will sell those supplies, we would run into blockages of roads and down trees, and we couldn't just get past it. So we really had a really bad time during those times. And Tsubasa also went through a disaster.
Yes, during 3/11, the Great East Japan Earthquake, I actually headed up northeast to volunteer. Although me and my team, we were capable of providing aid, it was actually a bit of an information problem where we couldn't find information about who needed what kind of help where because we weren't within the formal disaster response system. So it was actually a surprisingly frustrating experience.
So what can we do in situations like this? So Tsubasa here, he was in the military, and he had mentioned that there's a way to mark people on a map, and we thought that we could repurpose this idea on our app by marking key locations such as hazards and people and locations. So we came up with 2 missions. Number 1 was to enable people who wish to help people in disaster situations. And number 2, to provide live tracking and sharing of key information in disasters such as hazards and people. So we combined both of our stories to come up with a user story. We talked about several possibilities of a user, and we actually came up with our persona, Anthony. He is a responsible citizen. He's motivated to help people, but he doesn't know how to help people in disaster situations. We also talked about how Anthony would use this application in a disaster relief situation. And we also talked about our tasks based on the stories that we came up with. And we divided up into tasks so that we can build this application. So now Tsubasa will talk about our application and show you guys the demo.
Okay, to set the scene, let's say that I'm Anthony and we're here on demo day and we're having this talk, but then all of a sudden the entire building shakes violently and we are all fearful for our lives. After the shaking stops, we make sure that each of us is okay, and thankfully everybody here on this floor is okay and not injured. We make our way up to the first floor and we head out to the street, and we see in the direction of Roppongi Hills a huge plume of smoke. We know that it's important that the emergency services are notified of this, so we try calling the fire department and the police. But everybody's trying to do the same thing, so we can't get any phone connection. I know that my friends use this app in this kind of emergency situation, so I fired it up for the first time. So since I haven't registered, actually, I need to put in my name so that my friends and other users can identify me. Okay, after I hit save, I'm shown to the map. I can see that there's other users already here. Let's take a look at what they are. Let's tap them. Okay, oh, that's my buddy Dustin over there. There's another one. Did I see that right? Oh, why am I not surprised? He's right next to the fire. Okay, but actually the fire is the problem. Let's take a look at that fire. I'm going to tap it, and then I'm going to tap on that bubble. And I'm taken to the details page. I see, okay, there's 6 votes. Okay, I actually am seeing this smoke still coming up, so I think that this is still an ongoing situation. I'm going to vote that up. So as you can see here, you are able to verify and improve the quality of this information that is crowdsourced. Okay, and yeah, people are commenting as we go. All right, let's go back to the map. Actually, looking at my intersection, there's a down power line. There's a live line that's lying around. It's very dangerous. I think I should mark this so other people should know, that other people can know. I'm going to hold down on the map where the actual danger is. I'm going to hit that danger icon. And then I'm going to type in down power line. And I'm going to hit create pin. And there you go. I just created my own pin. I also know that emergency vehicles are probably going to get down here. Other people will probably want to evacuate. And I know the roads around here. I can see the roads that are currently accessible. So I'm going to use the draw feature on the bottom right to make that visible to others. Okay, I'm just going to use my finger to draw the route. There you go. And we just hit the bottom right check button. And there you go, it's on everybody's map now. I can also use my 2 fingers and swipe slowly up. And I can actually get a very visual representation of what's going on here. It's much easier to understand what's going on. Cool. Let's check back on the pin that we just dropped, actually. The down power line. Okay, there's already 3 okay, there's other people who are already confirming this. Cool. Great. So, yes, this is the Zenny beta as of now. Let's go back to the top. Let's go back to this top. There you go. So, just to review what we just seen, this allows you to real-time share your location with others. In this very time-sensitive context. You're able to pin very important key information, things like people who are in need of help, injured people, obstacles to road access, dangerous areas that you shouldn't access. You can also draw the map to visualize in very clear terms, areas that you probably shouldn't go to, and also roads of ingress, egress, etc. Also, since this is crowdsourced disaster mapping, it's very important that you are able to improve the quality or the reliability of this information. And we do that using the voting and commenting features you just saw. And of course, we don't expect everybody to look at their phones in this very dangerous situation. So we thought it's very important that we're able to continue tracking during sleep mode, especially in the case that somebody goes into this situation and we can't find them.
Thanks, Tsubasa. I'm going to go in a little bit deeper on the technology we used for this app. When we first started out using Expo, which is a development kit for React Native. We used it at first to prototype and to get the core features working as quick as possible because we were on a deadline, so we had something, so that we needed something to show to our stakeholders. Afterwards, though, we ended up injecting so we could have more features of just React's native. We also used Google Maps for the maps that you saw earlier. It provided us with a lot of features, including like it helped us out with the pins and with the 3D mode as well. Finally, we put all this information into Google's Firebase database, which allowed us to do a lot of live tracking and real-time information. So let's go over a little bit of the struggles that we had when we were creating this app. We are very familiar with React Web, but not too much with React Native. So the errors that we were getting were very foreign to us, and we weren't really sure what to do at first. But after we kind of deciphered the messages, we actually got really good at building in React Native, and it was really nice because it allowed us to build for both iOS and Android at the same time. Another issue we had was, this was our first time using Firebase, which is a no SQL type of database, which means it has no schema. We're used to something very structured, so when we first started out, we actually were deleting each other's data, overwriting our own data we needed, so it was a really big mess at first, but once we figured out a solid structure that we defined ourselves, it was very easy to scale up the Firebase to all the additional features that we implemented later on. Another big issue with starting with Expo is that we eventually needed to eject. If you're not familiar with ejecting, essentially it's going out of one development environment into the basic development environment, which, while it does not have as many tools, it allows for a greater degree of freedom. And this is actually what allowed us to create the sketching feature on our maps, and also allowed us to do background tracking for sleep mode and yeah. Finally, we are under review right now for the Apple App Store, and we're hoping that it gets approved. But deploying to the App Store was a huge problem for us. It was a very long and tedious task, a lot of back and forth between Apple and us, them sending one issue at a time for us to fix. So it was a lot of just back and forth with very little getting done as a whole. Not only that, but because our app makes use of live tracking, there's a lot of requirements that made a lot of speed bumps for us in the submitting process. Some additional features that we want to include into this app we feel are very important is URL sharing. We believe that this information should be available to everyone, not just people who use this app. And that provides the most benefit to disasters as a whole. Twitter integration is another one that we feel is a very powerful tool for this app. Oftentimes in disasters, phone lines will go down, but data is still very resilient. So in disasters, people have been found thanks to tweets and other social media being circulated. People have been found and gotten help. So we believe that's a very powerful tool for our app. As you know with disasters usually happen very suddenly. And if it does happen, then we want our app to be ready for everyone to jump on all at once. So stress testing is a big, is something we definitely really want to incorporate into our app very soon. And finally, we believe that the thing that's most important to people, especially if you're in a disaster, is where your friends and family and your loved ones are. So we want to add a filter feature into our app to find the people who are most important to you. This is our website. If you guys are interested, you can sign up for the beta. As soon as we get approved on the App Store, then we will be able to, you will be able to download it there. And this is our, if you want to sign up for that, this is our website right here. We have a QR code for the website. This is our contact information if you want to talk to us about it. And if you guys are interested in collaborating as well, please come talk to us. We'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Now we will take a few minutes to take any questions, if you guys have it from the audience. Yes.
It's an awesome app. It looks like there's a lot of very interesting and useful features. It kind of reminds me of Waze in terms of the driving app and being able to crowdsource a lot of the inputs. Question is that, how do you plan to distribute it? I mean, when it's disaster mode, maybe then people would realize, okay, this is something that we should have had. But when people are in disaster mode, and people who already had the app, I get that they're going to be able to tweet out and do the outbound things. But how do you plan to be able to gather enough users that would actually have that maintained and updated and installed on their phone so that when that emergency situation happens, that they would be in a good situation to use it?
So that's a very good question. Thank you. I think this is it's actually the same with any kind of disaster. Is that essentially preparedness is 99% of the factors that make you win the game of disaster, in surviving it and minimizing the loss. So I would say, I want to work on building relationships with the community and the disaster response community, actually the formal disaster response community. That would include people like volunteer firefighters, paramedics, many of whom are my personal friends. Just try to spread the message, and maybe people have training on this app, so that the most important trained responders already have this app going, and they are able to share this app and get people excited about it before an actual disaster strikes.
Thank you.
What about Android? Because you guys are using React Native, right? So you should be able to build it on Android too, right?
The Android version is still in development. We had some issues testing it, and it's not ready to show today. But we hope to have that up on the Google Play Store soon. Yeah.
From what I can see, you could also do it for the web. Do you have any plan for that?
So we can do it for web as well, but we figure in a disaster situation, you're not going to be walking around with a computer, and a mobile app is much more reliable. So we chose to develop in the mobile apps first, and then web would be a secondary thing afterwards.
If you add the feature of being able to tweet, and I see you tweet, and I want to use your link, if I don't have the app, I could use my browser on my phone. So that could help the distribution of your application.
So that is one of the things we want to get around to as well, and that's one of the future features that we're hoping to implement with URL sharing, where it would share a URL with all of the information that's currently in the app at that moment to kind of take a snapshot of it. And then that way, anyone who may not be able to use the app like on their phone, but might have a computer nearby, like a first responder, firefighters, local authorities, hospitals, they might be able to use that and better direct their people into these disasters.
Any other questions?
How will you stress test?
We haven't actually looked into stress testing yet. We wanted to finish these core functions first, but we are going to be looking into it after this demo, actually.
Yes. Do you have some strategy to prevent like duplicate incidents? Because I know you can set a pin for some incident, and then if you want to confirm that, you can vote it up. But what if like many users start like making duplicate pins for the same incident? Is there some strategy to that?
Actually, there's a delete pin feature that we can do. So like if there are any duplicates, then we can actually delete that pin so that we can avoid duplicates. Yeah, also, this isn't really duplicates, but it also fades after a certain amount of hours. So that also could be one of the ways to prevent duplicates. Any other questions? Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. Okay, next we have Team Habits. We have Hiro, Nor, Michael, and Tsuyoshi. So this is also a senior project with them too, and they have worked very hard on their application. Actually, their application is to deploy now, so you can check their app on Google Play as well as App Store. You can download it right after the demo, because they'll show you the link. Yeah, and a little fun fact about Hiro here. He has been a project manager. Yeah, he has been a project manager at a Japanese company for 15 years. He is a pro at CI/CD, and now they're ready. All right, so let's give it up for Habits.
Thank you guys, thank you Kimiko. Yeah, so this is going to be our last presentation for today, so bear with us. We built an app called Habits to help you build good habits. So let's just jump right in. So connect? Yeah, it is. Cool. So I think we've all been here. Everyone has those resolutions of I want to build a really, really good and healthy habit. Either be I want to get up early in the morning and start running finally, or I want to go to bed earlier, or maybe even want to pick up journaling and actually do this for a full year, not just for 3 days. And I think a lot of people had those plans and failed those plans. I think we all been there. And yeah, so we thought about why is that the case? A lot of people might say I'm just too busy. We might just argue people are just too lazy. And we wanted to help a little, like give like a gentle push to not be lazy. So in the case of go to bed early, when we talk to ourselves, okay, what does actually prevent us from going to bed earlier? What do we do in the evening? And we found that we actually just use our phones all the time. We sit on Facebook, on Instagram, waste so much time without getting anything back. So, one solution here would be to just turn your phone off and not use it in the evening, which you might end up going to bed earlier. So our philosophy here, our design philosophy is that we want to gently force you to build really good habits in this modular design. This is our main screen, so to speak. We have a bunch of different habits. Right now we have 3, divided in 3 different categories. So that thing that's right now blocked, it's called good sleep. So the first one is a good sleep habit. It's a daily one. You can start this any day as you want. What it does is it forces you or wants you to be offline for 7 hours straight. And if you succeed, you get points. If you go online in the meantime, you lose points. The next one is an early morning habit. So for 5 consecutive days, you need to push this button that only shows up between 5:45 a.m. and 6 a.m. And you have to push it. And if you fail to push it, you lose points. If you succeed 5 days and push it every day, you get points. The other one is a 30-day challenge that wants you to journal for 30 consecutive days. You just answer simple questions and you submit this. And if you succeed this, you get a lot of points. If you fail just once, you lose points. All right, so Nu is just gonna give you a demo now of our product.
So now I'm going to show you our app. So basically this is the interface of our app. We have 3 habits to keep up with. Also we have analytics to check out our progress. And also we have side menu which has like the user information. If you can see now we have 360 points. Yeah, okay, so first habit I'm going to talk about is good sleep. So this habit will help you to get like good sleep for 7 hours at night by asking you to disable the internet connection. So now if I go to good sleep, it will ask me to go offline. Then if I go offline, it can detect that. And then it will start counting. Okay, so usually it counts for 7 hours. But now to show you the workflow of our app, we shortened that down. Yeah, so now because I didn't turn on the internet, I won, I made it. I get 150 points. And if you can see now, if you check the total points, now we have 500 points. And also in the analytics, we have in the analytics, we can see like a chart of our points. So now we got it on September 27, 150 points. Okay, that was good sleep. The next habit is early start. So as Michael said, early start is to help you wake up early. So here the challenge is to wake up 5 days in a row and click a button in our app before 6 a.m. So this is a description, okay, I agree. Now it tells me to return before 6 a.m. And we can check the progress. Now I have 0 out of 5 because I didn't click the button. Okay, so the next one is daily journal. This one is to help you, like to keep the habit of writing the journal by answering 2 questions every day. So basically, this is the interface you get every day. So you can write something that you're grateful for my example. Okay. And then something I learned today. And I can also rate today. Like today is of course 5 stars. I submit that. Now I'm 1 out of 30. Because this is like first day I wrote the journal. We have to do it for 30 days in a row to win this challenge. And now we can check our journal on the side menu with the journal entries. So now these are the entries with the dates. Yeah, so that was our demo for the app. Now Tsuyoshi will continue with the technologies we used on this app.
Okay. Sorry, going forward. So the core technology that we have in here are React Native with Redux, which means most of the time the data and event are being passed through Redux from page to pages. And for designing stuff, we use Zeppelin and Sketch. We first started to use React Native with Expo, which is kind of building to SDK, so for improving efficiency of development. But on the halfway, we needed to use some library that Expo didn't support yet, so we have to eject Expo from the application. So to save the data, we are choosing to use Firebase. But let me talk a bit more about implementation of Firebase. So Firebase is well known as a real-time database. Not only that, but it's also supporting a lot of cool features, and we use 2 of them. First thing is user authentication. So in the demo we didn't show it, but actually once user launch our application, the sign-in or sign-up page is showing up to register the user data to push the Firebase. And also, we implemented the push notification using Firebase, so that is very cool. And we need to consider some cases that user is in offline. So how did you do that? Like that. When user is turning off their net connections, to save the data, application is going to use the local storage instead of Firebase. And once user turn on the Wi-Fi connection again, the data stored in local storage is going to be pushed to Firebase. That is what we did, like implementation of application. And as you can see, the images below, there are a lot of rabbits. And now we have 27 pages in one application, and which is it is just part of the whole pages we have in here. So, and also the table above, which is showing how much point user can get on each module. And I want to make sure that our rabbit is not so easy guy, as opposed to his cute looks. So if user is going to be failed, they retrieve your data from database. That is what we do. So from here, team introduction. As you can see, it shows each task each member has on their development. So if you're interested in more or you want to talk about it more, please feel free to contact me later. So from here, Hiro is taking over. Is going to be talk about our team process.
I'm going to talk about our team process. First, we had time to discuss about our expectation for this project. This project was our final project, so that we want everyone bring the high energy in every day in the morning. So that's start very beginning. We talked honestly and set our mind together. And next we did inception. So that this is a free project, so anything okay. So that's what problem we want to tackle. So that we take time and discuss. And after that, how user looks like and what problem our persona had. That and Actually, there are a bunch of ideas we can add, so that we try to narrow down and polish. So until we get make sense about our definition of MVP. And first, our actual development, we focus on building on MVP, so that we divide the two teams and pair programming that, and after to build MVP so quickly. And after that, we divide each one have one task or one module, and run through the end of the project. And the communication is always programmed, and the team dynamics is also it's hard for every project team. So that we try to keep communication tight and do it short time. But we want the stanza. We want the communication very frequently. So that we did many stand-up, like morning stand-up, after lunch stand-up, evening stand-up. In that stand-ups, we want to try keep, so that using a whiteboard and drawing hand drawing, and using many sticky notes, and take photo and share on Slack. And I think it's very worked for us. And here's our challenges. I go first. So I did a lot of things about the backend stuff, so that our application detect if application in the online or offline, so that we have to use a different storage, different place of storage, so that and also to fetch data from the place, we have to use an asynchronous stuff, so that's retiming and where and when fetch data is, to be honest, very annoying. So that's but to deal with this, simply I try to keep calm and debug step by step, and make sure that the data in that variable now. So that's my challenge.
So next challenge is deployment. When we start to deploy our application on each platform, in that case, Google Play and Apple Store, we got to realize that it's not as easy as doing deploy to web server. Actually, there are a ton of tasks to finish the getting permission or pushing some certification to each platform until we actually publish our application on each platform. So, but now we got accustomed to do that. So yeah, we made it to publish. Next problem we had is development environment. I think it is a common problem when it comes to developing a cross-platform application. In React Native, we have 4 environments: server, JavaScript, iOS, Android. So we take care. I mean, we need to think about which caches cause the error, or which part cause something weird as we don't expect it. So to deal with that, we found a way to clear the caches on each environment. That is, yeah, we had a lot of trouble, but we managed to do that. The next challenge is
yeah, for me at start, Firebase was a little challenging, because we used to use PostgreSQL, which was a relational database. But now when we use Firebase, there is no schema. It's non-relational. So that was a little new for us. To overcome this problem, I read the documentation of Firebase over and over until I get used to use Firebase. Yeah, that was the challenging part for me.
Cool. Yeah, for me, mostly front-end things to really think about the user experience. So how is the flow from the user coming in? What does the user expect? What are the different scenarios? So if there is data, how do we show it? If there's no data, what about placeholders? What about the site menu, and basically how to organize all those different modules that it makes sense. Also, making everything responsive was a very interesting challenge. But also basically when to load what Hiro already said, in terms of state management, was also a user experience question, because you don't want to have a long loading time when you open the app the first time. So when you open the app, you don't want to load everything from Firebase, because then you just see like a spinner for a few seconds, and that's not a good experience. So to solve this, we made use of local storage to just only load what we wanted to load, which is basically the user name and then the current points of the user. And all the other stuff we basically load in the background through Firebase when the user already sees the main menu. Because then you have some time to basically load that data and then display the data properly. Or if the user expects something to load, then it's also okay to take some time or show like a little spinner. And as you can see, maybe there was like some little sentences that you put under the spinners, similar to like Slack, that you have some interesting stuff to look at while you wait. Yeah, definitely a good experience to basically navigate through all those screens. Cool, that's about challenges. So now what about future features? Where do you want to take this? So we all have somewhat an interest in blockchain and decentralized apps. One of us has also experience there. We're not saying that it makes total sense to do that, it's just more of an interest. And so we thought about, okay, you could just turn those habit modules into smart contracts to add some transparency maybe to this. And if you already have this, let's say someone can stake their challenge with Ether, or let's say even real money, you can make some interesting, I would say, pooled community experiences. So let's say you have a challenge that you can join with 100 people, and they all put in $10 to build that 30-day journaling challenge. Everyone who loses and fails to submit a journal just basically loses the money, and then this person is out. But whoever finishes that challenge then gets their money back plus whatever all the other people lost. So you can actually make some real money or crypto money through that stuff. We thought it's an interesting mechanic to add. We definitely want to have more and stronger feedback loops to think about what kind of push notifications do we show, when do we trigger them, what if people have a negative experiences, meaning that you lost the very first habit, how do you get these guys back, and also when do you remind people to get back into the app. So that's something we want to do next too. And you saw one of the badges, so you want to add more badges that you can have and explore and collect, and rewards basically. Of course, we also want to add more habit modules. So something we could do is to connect with Apple's Health Kit, and you can just track the steps. So to basically say you have to walk at least 10,000 steps every day, or yeah, some other interesting stuff. If you have any ideas, let us know. But for now, we're proud to say that we are live. We made it to both of the app stores. Luckily, we did not have that many problems with them, since it was like fairly, I would say, yeah, not that crazy of technology in terms of like compared to geolocation. If you want, you can check those out. You can also go to a website. That's buildhabits.today. That's the website. And you can start build habits today. Going back to this is our team. If you have any questions later, I want to talk about a specific thing more in depth, please come talk to us. We're happy to share our experience. And thank you guys for listening.
We would like to take about a few minutes for any questions. So if you guys have any questions for this team, we'll be taking them.
Yeah. Yes, who came up, maybe you mentioned this before in the presentation, but who came up with the UI UX? Or was that a collaboration, or was there somebody focused on doing the UI UX?
Yeah.
The flow?
Yeah, so we sketched this all together out on the board, how we want the experience to be, and thought about this. And then use some sketches to basically communicate ideas, because it's always hard to get something that's in your mind into someone else's mind. I have some experience in Sketch, so I did most of the screens and implemented the front end more or less. We use Zeppelin, which makes it really easy to put that stuff actually into screens if you don't really care about design much, because it gives you like actually React Native snippets that you can put in. So everyone did some front end stuff on there. The illustrations that you saw, they were taken, inspired by some people at Dribbble, and we actually reached out to those people. We asked them, hey, can we use this for a school project? And they said, yeah, it's cool, it's fine. So all those rabbits that you saw, we did not do that, that's in the next level. But yeah, all the other stuff, that's built by us.
Cool, very professional, very good, very cool.
Thank you.
It reminds me of this game called like Exploding Kitties.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the design.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to go for like a headspace kind of design, like a very warm, rewarding, like friendly and like personal thing. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other question?
I'm wondering about the wake-up time. Why 6 a.m. and why can't you change it?
Why 6 a.m.? So, but to be honest, we try to configuration, so that's settings. So, keep it simple. So that's the first, the very beginning we had for it. I think that why 6?
It's arbitrary. It's like, oh, what is an early time? 6.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I would never wake up.
It's 6, 7. Reminds me of some radio Tyson or something.
Sure, radio Tyson. But yeah, as Hiro said, we should have some settings. They also with the sleep timer. Some people like to sleep more or less, so that you can also adjust that. Or maybe even adjust the length of challenges and get points relative to the length, or like a multiplier or something. Like there's some personalization that we could definitely add.
Yeah, so that's two of the settings something. So that's we have to manage more state. So maybe at the moment we can't maybe. So for development resource.
Any other?
The next one. I've downloaded yet. Thank you. I have one weird question. Is the app is 10 megs? Why is that so heavy?
Why is it small? Or so big?
It's big.
I mean, React Native stuff.
Maybe the images, like, do you know?
All the pictures.
Yeah, maybe too many pictures.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the file size of those pictures is actually pretty high. We just don't scale them through code. That might cause it. Yeah, I don't. Maybe there's also some through React Native, a bunch of stuff that we actually don't need. Yeah. Good question.
Okay, all right. Well, let's give another round of applause for Team Athens. Okay, so now we will take some few minutes. If you guys have any questions for the team or just the person individual question, we will take them. So if you guys have any questions for us as a team or individual person. Yes, now is your time. Yes.
So dedicating 12 weeks of your life is a commitment. What can some of you guys share? Like, what were some personal hurdles you had to go through in order to be able to be present here and actually learn and do these cool projects?
Okay, so right off the bat, actually, I joined this coding camp because I was unhappy with the work I was doing at my company. I love the team, I love the product, but I was doing developer relations. I wasn't doing as much code as I wanted to be doing. So, yeah, I talked to my boss and I was like, I want to do this bootcamp, and he was totally down, which was amazing. And so the sacrifice that I made was I really risked the job at the team that I really love to come here. And of course, 10 grand is not easy money. And also I took a leave of absence, so that's also practically speaking another 10 grand sunk. So that's 20 grand I sunk to come here. So that's a pretty big personal sacrifice. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would not call it a sacrifice. I would call this a self-investment. Even though I feel like I did sacrifice a lot because I'm really poor and I don't have any money. I had to get a loan and I don't have any income. I have like pretty much zero in my account. But I feel like this is a good investment. I feel like if this is good for you and this is actually personal growth for me, that you should invest in yourself. Even if you have to get a loan or even if you have to make sacrifices, I still feel that growth is more valuable than money or time or anything else. So yeah.
Sorry to hog the mic, but yeah, it sounds like I just downplayed it and that was it. But I didn't expect that I'd be able to learn a language from the ground up in 1 week. I didn't think that I'd be building a DApp, a distributed app. I didn't think I'd be making a full stack application, a mobile application. It's like all these things that I did not expect. The heights, it's just amazing. So definitely don't regret it.
If I may add something as well to Kimiko's story. Kimiko also left her job for this, so she's really dedicated for this. She really sacrificed, well, it's not sacrifice, but she really put in a lot of time and effort for this, so I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, okay, I can't top that, but so I had my own company for 2 years, and as I said, I was the only non-engineer, and communication was always something that was tricky to me. I think when you work in tech, that's, for me at least, my personal opinion, long term, you definitely need to have a good understanding of what actually this looks like under the hood and what you want to build, how to build this. And for me, it was always a question mark of, is this what we're building? Is this the best way to build this? Because for us, like, we build a mobile app also in React Native and Firebase actually, so the same tech stack that we built now, this product. And it took us really 4 months to launch the very first version, and we had one senior engineer that had 10 years of experience, so I would have expected that maybe it would be a little quicker. So I was also very impatient, and I talked to him on a daily basis, and I also trusted him and his judgment call. So I didn't really know. I still don't know if it could have been done quicker or not. But I definitely think that picking this up and also working as an engineer for a bunch of years definitely gives you an edge, no matter what you do in tech. For me, I definitely want to start another company sooner or later. And to me also personally, coming here, what I liked also in the case of Kimiko, everyone has the skin in the game and everyone left something behind. I mean, Noor was a lawyer in Syria and came here to just change his life 360 degrees. And it's just really cool to be surrounded by those kind of people that really work hard every single day, and we just kept pushing each other and build something that actually is worth showing to you guys and worth your time.
So I would, I would really say that it is a great opportunity to improve yourself. Not only the programming, like coding, but also like mindset to think about how good programmers think, or how to collaborate with others in foreign language. To me, the first at the beginning of the course, the English is very hard. Even see, I'm also struggled with speaking English, but like through this course, I have a great amount of confidence to finich this course with this great cohort, great mates. Yeah. So it's like beyond my description, but I definitely say thank you, and thank you, Yan-san. Thank you. That is what I'm thinking. Yeah, but.
You want the mic?
Okay.
Yeah,
Any other questions? Yes.
I'm working at a tech company in Japan. It's a Japanese company, and I want to know the language difference, like because in Japanese company, it's very hard to communicate a lot. We use email to communicate, so I'd like to ask Japanese people the difference between group project in English and Japanese.
As you are working, I had worked for 15 years at Japanese system integrator. But I know your pain, so that's. Actually, I'm not good at English the 3 months ago, but I don't know, just try. So go dive into only English environment. It's very important. So maybe in the last 3 months, maybe only person is my wife, so speaking Japanese. Maybe so I wake up and maybe it's 8 or 9. I can hold it through that all English. That's all. Yeah. Actually, the first moments, it's very,
I know. What's like a work difference?
Yeah,
a work difference of like English style, whatever you want to call it, and
work difference.
Yes.
It's I think English has no cable, so it's very friendly and very honesty. So it's the very different. So it's no overlaps but very take care of each other. So it's no direct or I don't know how to say. So, but tongue or language is straight, but it's a human being, so it's country.
So can I add one question? Like in Roxanne company, they speak English at office. So do you think it's like good to speak English at office, or what the pros and cons?
Pros and
after
cons.
this project?
So that I have a few coworkers who can speak English, and I try to speak English together. So for learning or studying, that's good. But I don't know. Maybe depends on your coworker. It's sometimes good, or I don't know. Sometimes not good.
So I work at a Japanese venture startup, not a venture, but a startup. I would actually say the culture isn't so big between my current startup and the team here. I would say that the brutal feedback is a bit is a differentiator, but I don't know. It really depends on your company. My former employer, the Japanese Air Force, is like a weird mix between like a communist state and a prison. But like my current employer, it's also a Japanese company, but it's a startup. People are value driven. We have a shared vision. We try to be as honest with each other as possible, and things move forward. And I'm happy there. So I would really say it depends on the corporate culture. Not the Japanese versus etc. culture.
Yes.
So for all the languages and frameworks and technologies that you learned over this course, what was the most interesting for you?
Okay, so the question was, throughout this course, what was the most interesting framework and libraries that we have used in the last 12 months?
Or technology.
Or technology.
Doesn't have to be
Okay.
library. Could be anything that you learned that you didn't know.
Okay. Who wants to answer? Nor hasn't answered.
No. So for me, we learned both React and Vue, and I found that actually going through both of those is very interesting. And I'm a really big fan of Vue, the Vue library framework. Well, I'm a really big fan of Vue and Vuex. It makes things a lot easier than React in my opinion, and I'm really hoping to work in it more. And aside from that, I am also a really big fan of Firebase, although I do understand its limitations. But it's something very fun and easy to use and implement. So.
For me, it was pair programming. It was very useful. Like I learned a lot from my classmates with the team with the pair programming. This technique was great. Also like teamwork and project work. Yeah, and I learned a lot, and I found that very exciting.
For me, the tech talk that this 5-minute presentation that I showed you was just a personal interest, because I've been interested in crypto stuff for like 1.5 years, and also invested in just reading, I would say from a business perspective, just high-level surface knowledge, and there's so much BS that just is happening, and I just want to dive deeper in understanding how this actually all comes together, and just being able to use the technology, in this case Vue, that we're used to learn here, and then using this rather new technology with not much documentation really, and just plugging it in and just make it work, and then it just works, and you're just like, what? It works? And then that's a cool feeling when when the smart contract was actually deployed and actually worked on the blockchain, but at the same time realizing how painful this experience is, because you can't change smart contracts once they're on the blockchain. It's very annoying. And also reading and writing through that is so slow. So having a really good user experience here is really, really hard. And it just changed my opinion a little of all the space, that I think it takes many more years. Yeah, so I think that was the most interesting thing. And also we had 1 week where we picked up a completely new language. We all picked different ones. I picked Swift, and comparing Swift with React Native, Swift is just much more elegant. And I don't know, React Native is very high. Yeah.
So, as opposed to Michael, to me, there's no question that React is the best. React is number one. Because, because of the community size of library, and also we can use React to make mobile, web, even VR. We can use that, and we can make that with that. So, yeah, React is number one. No, compromise.
So my background is infrastructure, so kind of backend. So that's for me, it's a view framework, framework, kind of a view and React. That's very interesting. But I prefer view. So another thing, so non-technical thing is the kind of behavior. I mean, we programming make it work. Make it pretty and then make it faster. So that's a really important thing. So that's don't think more. So that's let's do a try and error. And then we said conjure. That's very important things I learned.
So I'm interested in networking side and server side, and I actually thought GraphQL was really interesting because you can actually control what you get back, and that concept was totally new to me. I didn't even know that existed. So that was definitely interesting, and I want to look deeper into that technology.
I'd say Vue UX is really efficient. React Native I found was very powerful, but personally IPFS was amazing. It's like this purported replacement to HTTP. It's like completely different take of the internet. It's like 1998 all over again. Things break unpredictably. Things are slow, but it's like all these new capabilities. So, if somebody wants to nerd out to a little experimental technology, then I highly recommend you check out IPFS.
Cool. Okay. Well, looks like this will... Oh, sorry. Yes.
This is maybe a itchy question or comment. You guys have said that maybe 5 times or so. Tight deadline, and submit it to the stakeholders or something. So, isn't that you haven't expected or imagined beyond your imagination before taking the course? Or just position talk to the next applicant or something.
For my perspective, I was expecting to do a lot of work, and I did do a lot of work, but I wasn't really ready for the amounts of just learning and just pressure and how many features we need to add at once. I expected something more similar to what I learned in school, which they push you, but they don't push you that hard. I was just expecting to spend a lot of time, but maybe not as much brain power to get this stuff done. But it really pushed me in every possible way, and I'm really grateful for it. And it really pushed me to new heights that I did not know I could achieve before.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, looks like this will conclude our demo day. Please feel free to stay, and we would like to chat with you guys. Now, Yan will take over from here.
Thank you.
I'm trying to connect to AirPlay right now. So, I'm on the park. Ah, there we go. Oh, okay, slight lag, but we're good. All right. Okay, so I just have some announcements. Can you all hear me? The microphone is I'm not used to using a microphone. Okay, so just really quick, we have a bunch of events coming up. See some that you like, come to them. You can find them all on meetup.com. As you know, we're really into events here. We love getting the community together. We love sharing information. So if you are interested in getting started to learning how to code, if you're interested in blockchain, we've got a lot of good stuff coming up. Also, I want to remind you all to mark your calendars for CC6, which is happening December 27th, 2018, and I think we have some CC6 students in the audience. Can you raise your hand? Oh, wow. Come watch the cool projects that they will be building in the next 3 months. And we're going to have a Nijikai. It's going to be at Raw, so it's walking distance from here. It's on the other side of Roppongi Hills. So please join us for that Nijikai. The information is out in front over there. I really want to thank you all for coming. This means a lot. We love showing off what our students have done. I think they did an amazing job for the past 3 months. A lot of them came from no coding background, and they managed to learn enough on their own to get into this program. So that's quite incredible. Before I let you all have some beer, I want to invite Connie up for some last motivational words. Motivation.
This morning I woke up, and this happens every 3 months. A class graduates. It's a unique feeling. I'm still not getting used to it after 5 times. I'm excited to see them, go and do great things in life, and no doubt. But I'm also very sad at the same time because we spent a lot of time together. But more than anything, you saw their apps. I mean, they built some amazing stuff. It's really cool what you didn't see and what they didn't present. The teamwork, how they helped each other through hard times when you were sick. And that was also very amazing to see and very powerful. Also, what you didn't see is how much effort that goes into not just the code and the product and how it looks, but the process. I know they spoke a little bit about the process, but it's amazing how much testing that goes into their apps building. They use TDD, test-driven development, so there's always code that they write along with the tests that they write with the code that they write, tests that they create for the code that they write, and also the continuous integration. So a lot of these modern methods that you need to successfully build apps fast. So that's another, I think, highlight of what they're doing here. But more than anything else, I think, it's been a hard 1 year, 3 months. But these guys make it so easy for us. We come here every day and we get so much energy from them. They're amazing people every time. CC6, they're looking forward to you. But they bring so much of the energy, and I'm so great to have them in our lives. So thank you, congratulations, and let's go and have some beer. All right.